Good morning, everybody. My name's Darlene, and I have Parkinson's. I don't know if I should define myself that way. Am I just Darlene who has Parkinson's? No, that's one of the things I have, but that's not just who I am. I'm a wife, a mother, a pain in the ass, a grandmother. I'm plenty of things. But anyway, for these purposes, I'm Darlene who has Parkinson's. My subject that I thought I might talk a little bit about today, I was joking with Bill because I said to him, what I had said was I was going to talk about sleeping and how that is being affected. And is my sleeping doing any better? Now, if you asked me this first thing this morning, I would have said, hey, my sleeping was so good. I had the best night's sleep last night that you could imagine. But if you'd asked me the night before, how was your sleeping? I would have said, I got up and I tidied my house and I did some paperwork and I, did what, because I was up all night. So how is it doing? It's doing whatever feels like it that night. I can have the same routine. I can do the same things. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So that's all I can do is the very best I can. I do know that when I have not had enough sleep, it becomes very evident that I have not had enough sleep because the next day I'm just dragging and it's no fun when you're dragging like that. I'm going to just unplug here for just a second because I want to show you something. I'm going to have Claudine help me with this later. She's not here right now, but I'm going to, hopefully you don't get dizzy. And I'm going to come over here. All right. Switch back. Look at this. This is my new chariot. Hasn't been blinged out yet. We'll get there. But look at that. Isn't that something? Now I'm going to come and just sit down in it while I talk to you for a moment. There we are. So this is going to be my new ride. Now, I wish I could have used the A-Linker because it was going to be good for me, but this is going to give me freedom. When I go to a store, I'll be able to do it. Pushing the wheelchair was very hard, like by myself, to push it with the hands, very hard. And I'm winded again. That's crazy. Anyway, I am so happy. When Claudine comes, she's going to give me some lessons. And we're going to go out into the hall and start learning how to do it. Now, I'm not a very good driver, so it'll be interesting, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, let's go back and sit where we're comfortable. Oh, I should do, while we're here, I'll take you over and show you what supper's going to be. We didn't do our appetizer night, just us. So those are frozen meatballs. So I'm going to put some teriyaki sauce on those. This here is, oh, look at those shrimp. Those shrimp are thawing out right now. And Bill, what was the thing? Oh, spring rolls. We got some spring rolls that we're going to do as well. So we're just going to have an appetizer night, just the two of us, and play a game of Yahtzee. I think that I have a challenge to challenge Bill to a game of Yahtzee. He's won. We played 3 games. He's won the first. I won the next 2. So he's on a vengeance. He's going to come for me tonight. I know that. Anyway, I was also going to tell you, when we were traveling across Canada, I think I told you that when Bill retired 20 years ago, that we took a 3-month vacation and went all the way across Canada to visit friends. Didn't tell them we were coming, and we had a big surprise, and it was lovely. Anyway, while we were doing it, we wanted to make it fairly reasonable. Like, we were going to be gone from home 3 months. We were just new to having a pension. You just don't go spending a lot of money. So anyway, we decided for the year leading up to his pension, we started gathering, when we grocery shopped, we gathered a few extra cans and whatnot, and we literally, our vehicle was loaded down. We had 3 months worth of groceries practically with us and just had to buy fresh things. We had all the rest of the things there. We took camping tent and, camping gear. We weren't going to pay for great parking lots great camping spots. We were just going to take the cheapest ones we could find. Didn't need hookups or anything. That was the way we were going to go. So I said, well, we should get one of those beds, that has like a little cot. And Bill said, no, because then the legs of it will poke through the bottom of the tent. He said, let's get one of those bed in a bags, where they pump them up and they're 2 air mattresses high. And I said, hey, that sounds good. So we went and bought one. Costco, wasn't it? Costco? Yeah.
I think so.
So we went and bought the first one, and we decided to try it out at home first. And we tried it at home. Oh my gosh, it was so nice. It was comfortable. It was as comfortable as a bed was. And we said, this is going to be nice. We're not ever going to mind being on the ground. Yeah, that was famous words. Over the course of 3 months, I kid you not, we replaced it 4 times. We didn't buy a new one each time. We went into Costco and said, it has a hole in it. And they said, well, it's on the seam, we'll just replace it. They replaced that 4 times. The last time I said to Bill, we have one more night before we're home, stay in a hotel, and we're not replacing this because we're not going to use it again. Like it's ridiculous. The thing kept getting a hole. But what would happen is we'd sleep on it about 6 or 7 nights. Everything was fine. And then we hit about the 8th night. And we'd start off at the right height. And over the course of the night, it would get down and down and down until it was just slowly leaking out air. So we'd wake up in the morning and go, oh, my bones are sticking into the ground. Like, what's going on? And there'd be no air, not one little bit of air in the mattress. And then we'd replace it and away we'd go again. But I said to him, well, it ended up being fairly comfortable most nights, but it wasn't a very good long-term type solution. But it worked for the 3 months anyway. So that was how we did that. I think I told the camping story about us in northern Quebec. If I didn't, I'm going to tell it here. The same trip, and we had this same air mattress. No, this wasn't the same trip. This was a trip when we were coming back to visit in Calgary. Yeah, this was not the same trip. We were coming back to visit, and we had this air mattress, and we said, hey, let's put... Yes, it was an air mattress. I'm getting myself all confused here. Anyway, we put this air mattress on top of things that we had packed in the back. We had a little, not really a van. It was sort of a mini type van. Sort of like an SUV, but not fancy like that. But anyway, we had a few things packed down there, and we put the mattress on the top. And I would crawl in next to the like on the driver's side, but there's only a door on one side. So I would crawl in, and then Bill would crawl up, and we'd be there. Great, as long as we're both on there. We got on there, but we're up at eye level of the window. Anybody walking by was going to be able to look in and see us. Anyway, we're up at eye level, and we're just talking and whatnot. We're in a little rest area in Quebec. And all of a sudden, Bill says, I have to go to the washroom. And I said, well, I don't. And he said, well, I'm going to get out and go to the washroom. I said, okay, fine. Well, when he rolled off of that bed, the part where I was sleeping dipped down in. I am now sandwiched between the glass window, me, and this air mattress. I could hardly breathe. I was sandwiched in there. And Bill stood on the outside of that van and laughed. And I said to him, I am suffocating here. You're going to have to help me. And so anyway, he had to help me. And then I said, now we both have to know that we both lay down at the same time and we both have to get up at the same time. Otherwise, I'm not going back into that side over there. Anyway, and it was hot. Oh, my goodness, it was hot. There was no breath of air in that vehicle. Oh, I tell you, I have to learn to quit being so cheap. I really do. Like, if I can save $10, I will. And I've got to sometimes realize cheap is not always good. I'm generous with everybody else. But when it's things that we want, we tend to put it off and put it off. Now, I will say this. When it comes to the pieces of medical equipment, I have bought more and spent more on things to try for myself than I had ever imagined that I would have. But it's because I'm really trying to make my life have some purpose. And so then I feel very bad when I say to Bill, no, you can't buy another DVD because you don't need them. We have streaming services and you got a million DVDs. Meanwhile, I'm going to go out and buy a scooter. Yeah, I feel bad. But sometimes You just can't have everything. And he gets other things all the time. So I try very hard to be fairly fair. And if I'm not fair, there's so many times that he'll get something and I don't even worry about whether I have it because I don't need things. And pet peeve, this is just a little bit of information. A pet peeve of mine. If somebody wants something, I can't stand it. Like if one of the kids would come up to me and say, Mom, I made you a pretty picture. I'd say, thank you, that's beautiful. I'll go hang it up on the fridge. And then they'd say a little bit, Mom, can I have a cookie? I'll say, well, it's just 5 minutes till supper. You can have one after supper, but it's 5 minutes to supper. If they say, but I made you a picture. Oh, I don't like that. Because if you're making something for somebody, you do it because you want to do it. You don't do it so that you can get something. You don't get something for somebody else so that you don't feel guilty about what you want. That's not right. So my kids know that now. They all are very good about that. And like I will get a picture from people sometimes say, I made you a picture. And it's like, thank you. I love that. And then I can do the same back another time. That's the way it is. Anyway, I've rattled on here. Not talking about much. Comes to sleeping. Some days yes, some days no. It's a real issue for Parkinson people. Sleep is not guaranteed. So I just try to make the best of it. If I'm not sleeping, then I'm up doing something. Very seldom do I just sit in the chair because then I'll stiffen up and then that's not any fun either. Anyway, gonna let you all go for now. See you all tomorrow.